What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my Twisted Life and TV. I'm Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Queen Sugar. This is season 6, episode 4. Move so easily through the common depth. I'm jaded. I'm gonna just let y'all know right now. I am thoroughly jaded with this show at this point. There's so many things that I can't overlook, which tells me that I'm not moving easily through the common depth. I wasn't sure exactly what that meant, really. So I was going to go over to Miss Honey's channel, because Miss Honey be breaking some shit down, y'all. I was going to go over to Miss Honey's channel and see if she can give me a good idea of what it meant, or what she thought they meant by moving so easily through the common depth. When I think of depth in this fashion, I think of depth perception, which is basically means the way that we see things, or we see the distance between two different things or two different objects. In certain conditions or certain things can make that depth perception a bit difficult to understand. So with that terminology in mind, I'm not moving easily through the common depth. I can't even say that the borderlones are easily moving through it. What I think is happening is that production and direction, Ava DuVernay, is wanting the viewers to just move through or move past what we've seen and see what they're showing us now. Get over it. Queen Sugar is not the same as it used to be. We need you to look at this with different eyes. Move through this common depth with us. Move through these troubled waters. Move through everything that just ain't making sense. Move through the muddiness, the cloudiness, as easily as you can. And then get to where we at and be done with it. Be comfortable with it. Don't complain about it. Just get there. We've had some troubled waters that we had to go through. We've had some hard times that we had to get through. But we're here now. I think that's what the writers and the producers and the directors of this show want us as viewers to do, because it's absolutely not making any sense on how this is playing out on these TV screens. I know there are a few of y'all that just want to watch this show and just enjoy it for what it is, but there are a few of us who look at these shows with a little bit more depth. And we not wading through it properly. I'm kind of frustrated, y'all. Let me see. There's a few things that's bothering me. Missing storylines. I think that the writers and the producers and the directors of this show are really doing us a grave disservice by not tackling these storylines which they made so important. Okay? Nova, the auntie that she found, her mother's long lost sister that everybody thought was dead. Nova went on this fierce hunt for this woman, found her, tracked her down, was able to get trinkets and artifacts that helped tie in memories that she had with her mother and bring it to the forefront. But nobody else knew that this auntie existed. It wasn't that she asked to be kept hidden. Nobody else knew. Now, I do know that the actress who was playing the auntie died in real life of the C-19. Okay? And that's when that storyline dropped off, when C-19 happened, okay? They could have very well explained her absence from the show as being somebody who was subjected to the C-19 and passed away. They could have very well did that, but they didn't. They just dropped it off like that storyline never freaking happened. Ralph Angel, Charlie, Aunt Vi, nobody knows of this sister's existence. Nova don't even go by and visit no more. She don't even make no secret trips back over to this auntie's house no more. I have beat the Tia storyline with Davis like a dead horse, so I'm not going to really get onto that again. But y'all already know how I feel about Tia and why she's not part of this storyline. Micah no longer speaks to the woke crew. The 2 Live woke crew, remember I talked about them? He no longer speaks to them. They were his homies. They were the one that got him into activism. You know what I'm saying? He no longer speaks to them. Aunt went to jail and is never talked to again. I know Aunt said never come back, but what about the rest of them? You just said forget the rest of them too? They all just dropped you off to the wayside when everybody went off to college. You ain't in nowhere but New Orleans, okay? Aunt Vi's lupus. Are we to think that everything is everything with Aunt Vi? She was having so many issues with her medication, with tremors, with, she was going through symptoms. She has an autoimmune disease, which means that her being exposed to COVID could be kind of serious for her in this way. But the actions that she's taking, the moves that she's making in this show, makes it seem as if she don't give a damn. It doesn't matter to her. Her lupus is no longer an issue. Am I the only one that's concerned about Aunt Vi's lupus? Ralph Angel, when the sugar mill couldn't mill the doggone sugar cane, Ralph Angel took a good, I want to say it was 80 acres of that land and planted soybean. What happened to the soybean acres? Yes, the sugar cane is not being fruitful, but you had the soybean to fall back on. What happened to it? Why are we no longer working with the soybean? You said it was lucrative. You have 800 acres of land. 800 acres of land. That's more than the 40 acres in the mule. You have 800 acres of land. Why are we still trying to mill in the same spot? Don't the nutrients have to replenish themselves anyway in the soil? But we keep on farming right next to the house. You have 800 acres of land. Speaking of that land, the road that was coming through town, I know Parker was at the forefront of it, you know what I'm saying? And we know she ran off to New York, never to be heard from again. Never to be heard from again. Now, I do know that the actress Amara Vine had a baby, and that's why she didn't come back at that particular time. But y'all just gonna drop that storyline off like that? Parker was not the only one that was pushing that railroad or that road through town. Now, I know we had came to another agreement on where this road was gonna go, but that road was still gonna go through a lot of the farmers' land, especially the border loans. Did we have a stay of execution on that land? I don't remember that. I don't recall that. But we just supposed to assume that it did. The young lady that when Ralph Angel first robbed the store in season 1, the young lady saw him again last season, recognized his face immediately, and nothing else came of that. If they don't tie that in with this Theo situation this season, what are y'all doing? Why do y'all keep bringing up these scenarios that really don't have any factor or really don't have any weight in the story? As a writer, we are told to not put in anything into the storyline that does not move the story along. What did that do for Ralph Angel by that girl recognizing him? Would it make him say, I ain't gonna never go back to that convenience store no more? What the hell did that really do for him? How did that move the storyline along? It's not making sense to me. The secret that Aunt Vi and Sam Landry had together, what was that? What was it? The lock box or the little trinket memory box that Aunt Vi had underneath the bed with all these secret flyers and names and baby things. What happened with that? Are we ever gonna get the story with that? Did she lose a baby? What happened with that? Because Aunt Vi got a lot of secrets that we just don't talk about no more. It's disturbing that they not addressing these subject matters. Then we got a lot of confusing details going on this particular season that's bugging me as well. Where the hell did Celine come from? Why did she reach out to Aunt Vi specifically? Did the shelter give her Aunt Vi's information? I don't think that they would. Not like that, you know what I'm saying? It just don't make sense to me. Aunt Vi claims that she does a lot of work with the shelter. At least, she got contacts down there. But you would think that the shelter would have been the one to recommend to Celine to go talk to a lawyer, not Aunt Vi. That the shelter would have been the one counseling her, not Aunt Vi. That the shelter would have been the one to help her finding safety or finding room and board, not Aunt Vi putting her up in the hotel and spending money to pay for this girl to be in this hotel. On top of feeding her and her son all the doggone time. On top of slipping money into this box all the doggone time. Who was Celine? Where the hell did she come from? And why does she know Aunt Vi? When are y'all going to give us that background? When are y'all going to give us that background? Yes, we have her background that she ran from her abusive man. But what is her connection to Aunt Vi? Why ain't nobody brought up Calvin? Miss Honey talks about this all the time. Why ain't nobody brought up Calvin? Nova mentioned him, I think, maybe one good time, saying that he was the love of her life. You ain't even paid him a visit. You going through all these struggles with the police department, and the love of your life, who was a police officer, could give you some type of insight or at least some type of advice. And you ain't went to go see him, or you ain't had a phone call for a collect call, nothing from him yet. He just gone to the wind, 3 sheets to the wind. Ain't nobody, not nobody on this show tripped off the fact that Ralph Angel ain't got no job. Darla ain't got no job. They just got married. They done got rid of one of their sons, but they got a baby on the way. Ain't got no cane to bring in no income. They ain't on WIC. They ain't on food stamps. They ain't on Medicaid. Ain't nobody tripping off that they might be in some financial hardships. That might be what's going on with them right now. Nobody. Ralph Angel ain't got the liability money coming in from the EPA or the USDA. They ain't got that coming in yet. Ain't nobody concerned. Aunt Vi's up here making care packages for Celine. She makes one for Darla. It looked like, compared to the care package that she made for Celine, this looked like Darla went to the WIC office. She got the O's. You know how we got Cheerios and the WIC had gave you the generic brand, so she had the box of O's. That's what she put in this box for Darla. She ain't slipped no money in there for them. We just not gonna bring up Blue no more, huh? Blue don't call no more. Blue don't talk. We don't see Darla having any interaction with her son. The only time that Blue ever interacted that we heard of, as far as woven into the script, is when Ralph Angel mentioned one episode how he called every day. No other mention of Blue for real. Not for real. Billy. I remember when they first brought Billy up. Billy lived in Chicago with her 2 kids. Where's Billy's kids? Why they ain't brought that back up? Or they finna change the story up now and claim that she don't have one. That's what's making it so easy for her to leave Chicago and come back to St. Joe's. Especially since her and Vince ain't working out. The whole teacher sleeping with the student or counselor, she was a professor, sleeping with the student situation. We just not gonna address that. We gonna gloss over it since she dumped him. Like it never fucking happened. Like that shouldn't be a subject matter, since y'all brought it out and put it in our face. That shouldn't be a subject matter that should be talked about. Micah's panic attacks. He came to Charlie and told her in this particular moment, I was going through some things, just having a little moment, like some panic attacks because I was thinking about the police brutality and everything. And I just had to realize that some things ain't under my control. That's how y'all finna deal with this mental health issue. He is dealing with PTSD. That is what Queen Sugar wants to give us to deal with this issue. Is that moment right there. Oh, he cool. His panic attacks are alright now. Didn't Charlie go through a situation where she was having panic attacks before? We don't get no therapy. We don't get no therapy for Micah. We still ain't got no therapy for Hollywood. I guess Gabriel, his therapy. Hell, they don't even go to church, for some type of counseling. They don't do nothing. It's just disturbing the shit out of me, y'all. It is disturbing me. And I think it's such a disservice, too, that they are breezing through these storylines as fast as they are. They are skipping scenes and then just like kind of hinting at them in conversation as if the scenes that we need to help fill in the blanks for us. Okay? Like when Prosper first saw Billy when he woke up out his coma. You know what I'm saying? That's a scene we needed to see. Okay? This whole argument that Billy and Aunt Vi supposed to have that Prosper jumped in on. That's some stuff that we need to see. The way all of this is unfolding with Charlie with the social media, that's some stuff we need to see. But instead, they steady trying to push all these different social issues in on us. In this one doggone season, we done had police brutality. We done had Black Lives Matter. We done had healthcare. We done had PTSD. We done had doulas and midwives and homosexualities and teachers sleeping with students and Confederate flags and C-19 and voting problems and land grabs and business closing down and black farmers being on the brink of extinction. You know what I'm saying? We got Charlie running for political office. Charlie getting back with his strange husband. We got so much being stalked by the police officers, being harassed by the police officers. Got this one motherfucking police officer that go through all the god doggone town. You see him show up everywhere, but you don't run into Romero. You don't run into Boudreaux. What's his name? What's the Boudreaux? Jacob Boudreaux. You won't run into him no more. We don't run into Kiki. We don't run into nobody. But Guidry everywhere. Everywhere. What happened to the black girl that Ralph Angel used to sleep with? The one that had her eyes on Hollywood too. What happened to her? You know what I'm saying? What happened to Noah's best friends? Her crew that she used to hang with, the women. I used to love when they got together. What happened to them? Why are we like taking all of this out and just like glossing over it like it never freaking happened? I'm sorry, y'all. We don't went damn near 17 minutes and I ain't got to the doggone review. Let's get to this doggone review for y'all. I'm not sure if it's the morning after or if it's a few weeks later. I'm not sure how the timeline is moving right now. But the Bordelon siblings have gotten together. Nova making phone calls about the bones that were found on the property, right? They were able to get a stay of execution to stop the digging on the land. But the forensics on the bones is going to take a few minutes for it to come back. As of right now, is a bone. Normally, they would have kept excavating or kept digging to see if they could find a body, a skeletal frame to put together. You know, they should have called Bones. Y'all ever watched that TV show? I used to like Bones. They need to call her Bones and her crew in. She would have did everything right there at the dig spot. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then took it back later to check to see if there was a murder and this, that, and the third, right? I missed that show. I lost track on where I was at, though. So for me to go back and just pick it up. But anywho, Ralph Angel's main concern is about the stain that it's going to put on his daddy's name, okay? But Charlie is like, you know what? Even if these bones are the bones of the people that these families are looking for, having them win the case in court is going to be really difficult. It's going to be damn near impossible for them to do. First of all, daddy dead. You know what I'm saying? And this is from her consulting with her lawyer. Why ain't no lawyers in St. Joe's? None. Billy is a paralegal. She's not even a lawyer yet. Why is there no lawyers in St. Joe's that they can consult with? They don't have a lawyer for the doggone USDA, no law case, nothing. They ain't got no lawyer to consult with in this matter either. Like I said, she's making a case, care package for Darla. But Aunt Vi seemed to be stress eating like a mug. And like I said, it just brought to me like what's going on with her lupus, you know what I'm saying? Hollywood, he got a basketball in it for Gabriel, you know. And I was like, yeah, this is leaning more and more towards him not having the ability to have a child with Aunt Vi. I believe, right? And she thanks him for all that he's been doing in regards to Celine and Gabriel. Well, Prosper and Billy, their whole relationship just ticks me off, right? It's still not sitting right with me at all. He's still acting just a little bit too funky with me, for me. She is steady trying to win his affection and his love from her father. And, later on in the episode, we saw him offer her a sincere sounding apology, but I still took issue with it because I know that he said to her that he know that things is not as good with them, you know what I'm saying? And she always went her own way, and he tried to force his ways on her. And I was like, that's not an apology. At least that's not the apology I believe that she needed, right? Because what's going on with her and her trying to forge her own way in life, what did that have to do with her leaving St. Joe? Based off of what they presented to us, the reason why she left St. Joe is because a grown man tried to take advantage of her. She told her daddy, she told her neighbors, she told her friends, she told everybody she could think of, and nobody believed her. Everybody in the town ridiculed her to the point that she got out of there and left as soon as she could. So what does her forging her own way in life, having her own damn mind in life, have to do with the price of tea in China? It don't. I can understand that apology has a lot to do with how he treated her, which we really don't have the full background or understanding on that either. Okay, we heard her mention and say that daddy used to always have to get his way. Now we heard him mention that too. So, because I'm like, what of her past, of her background, of your relationship that made Prosper even doubt his daughter's word when she brought that to him? It just I don't know, y'all. It just really bugs me. Like I said, that apology was supposed to be so sincere at the end. It was a heartfelt moment. They exchanged love for one another. But in my mind, I kept saying, y'all still ain't addressed the elephant in the room. Y'all still have not addressed the elephant in the room. Like I said, I could take his apology for being controlling, but that's not what sent her away. That's not what sent her away. And are we not going to address that Ava DuVernay? Are we not? I mean, he talking about everything else. All through the day, he making her feel so bad. He making her feel bad about the muffins she bought. Made her feel bad about the coffee maker that she got, And like, he just talking mad shit to the point she's like, you know what? I was just trying to make you happy. I'll take it back with your ungrateful ass. That's what I added on, right? Miss Honey and I had a brief conversation about Billy and Prosper and like who has the responsibility to amend that relationship or to mend that relationship. And based on what y'all know, if y'all still watching this video, who do you think should be more driven to make amends in this relationship? Billy as the child or Prosper as the father? I felt like Billy didn't owe him shit. Not an apology at all. Even though she gave him one, which was weird. But I don't feel like she owed him any goddamn apology. I felt like she was the victim in this. He was the parent that caused this disparity. He's the one that caused the damage in the relationship. However, Miss Honey did make a good point by telling me that if Billy had been transparent to him on what her issues are with him, then it's her responsibility as well. She has the responsibility to make that known. So I do see that point very well. But I'm like, Billy is sitting here to me trying to force him to be considerate of her, to see her, to, all the while she pretending there ain't no fucking elephant in this damn room. Like, it's not all bright and shiny over here in Prosper's household, right? You ain't getting all this bright and shiny happiness when the darkness is still there. Prosper's just pissing me off. He's just pissing me off. I mean, he's not having really harsh judgments against her, but his petty judgments are working my fucking nerves. So Darla's at home stressed about this baby and this money, and rightfully so, right? Ross sat there and told that bald-faced ass lie that he got a legitimate gig with Theo. That he gonna do some pickup work that can turn into a full-time job. And I was thinking, you about dumb as a box of rocks. You are seriously going through being a getaway driver, because that's what your job is, a getaway driver, instead of taking money from your wife. That's where you're at, Ralph Angel. We talked about you being mature. This is showing a deep lack of maturity, in my opinion, right? Last week we talked about the trust money. If this is a trust fund, let's first get that, because she said an account, but she didn't necessarily say the trust fund. We just assumed it was trust fund. But we talked about the trust fund in the comment section. And Darla mentions in this episode that she got the money, right? Or she already asked for the money. There is no way that Darla would be able to access that money so quickly. No way. That would be able to get them out of a bind that fast, right? Even if her parents are the legal trustee, it takes time to make legal changes to a trust that is earmarked for college, okay? But go off, Ava DuVernay. Go ahead and go off, right? Anywho, Darla confides in the Aunt Vi about the money woes and the money that Darla got set aside. And, well, it ain't really set aside now because she asked her parents for it. But she's feeling guilty for not telling Ralph Angel. Girl, he lying to you too. Shit, you know what I'm saying? But like Aunt Vi said, you should have your own money any damn way. You know what I'm saying? I was just watching this show called Made on Netflix. And it kind of put me in mind of that, because there are so many abused women who are stuck in situations because they can't financially hold their own. Celine, for example, Aunt Vi is the one that's paying for their hotel. And Celine has no financial means to take care of her and her son at this point. Have you some fucking money stashed away, ladies? Okay? Hell, men, have y'all a fucking separate account as well. But ladies, without a doubt, stop depending on other people to care for you financially. Have you a little nest egg off to the side. You can still have your joint account with your boo thing or your husband or whoever you with, your significant other, but still have your own. Be like the church. Treat yourself like a damn temple. Pay yourself 10%. Every god doggone time you get paid. Even if your hubby kick you down $100, put 10 of that into your pot. And, you know, pay yourself 10% first, right? Oh, I mean, I know that Darla's not being physically abused, although I do think that there was a lot of emotional abuse that she took from Ralph Angel. Anyway, he's trying to control the finances, which is still a form of emotional abuse. And he's trying to limit her ability to contribute to the household because of his fucking ego. Okay, it takes me back to when she had to quit her fucking job because Ralph Angel needed her at the farm because the farm wasn't doing so well. I'm saying he pulled her off of that god doggone toll booth to come there and babysit on the fucking farm for some crops that had failed, and she ended up losing her fucking job. And then on top of the fact, you know, she lost her job with Charlie. And I kind of understand it a little bit because of the blue situation, but still, it was because of Ra that she lost that fucking job as well. When are y'all gonna start being partners for each other in this relationship? That's all I'm asking. I mean, it probably would have been a little bit alright if he said, you know what, go ahead and get that money, boo, but let me try to do what I could do first again. And if we need to use it, then we use it. Let me try one more thing first, right? But he telling her not to even touch it. Don't even go for it. Don't even get it. Don't even tap it. He's thinking with an immature, prideful mind again, and it's frustrating. So for some reason, I think that Aunt Vi was going to spill the beans about the doggone money, and, you know, before Darla gets a chance to tell him. She didn't do it this episode, but I think it's coming. So Billy and Aunt Vi, apparently they got into it. This is one of these other missing details, right? We found out from Prosper going over to the real spot talking about it. I'm going to roll right over that the same way that the writers roll right over it too. They didn't give it to us to talk about, to discuss, to see. I ain't finna talking about it either. Nova, who is scared for her life, scared for her safety, just hollered for somebody who knocked on her door to come on in without checking to see who it was. She didn't go to the door. She didn't pick up her phone to check the app. She didn't look at no cameras that she all got installed around the building. She's like, just come on in. Not knowing who it was. But of course, it was our neighborhood op. I still think he is the op. Dominic showing up with rolling papers. She sent him to the corner store to get some rolling papers. What was the point of us seeing this scene? Or y'all trying to prove to us that he can't be a cop because he's buying rolling papers? Undercovers do all kind of shit to fit in. They'll smoke a whole doggone crack rock if they have to, just to fit in. Rolling paper, smoking weed. What was the point of us showing him buying these fucking rolling papers for Nova? Except the fact that she oversharing with his ass. That's it. Then Ralph Angel, he rolled up to Theo. Theo was at the club, strip club or whatever. He at the club to find out what the details of the job are. He wanted to learn more. He didn't learn nothing. Didn't learn a damn thing. All he got was some more money pushed to him. Theo threw him a couple wads of money, some bands. He threw him a couple bands. So if he was in the strip club, he ain't finna throw him out up in there. Because he just gave it all to Ralph Angel. He treating you like a little hoe. Throw you some little money here so you could do my little bid. Shake that ass for me, Ralph. Basically telling him to shut the fuck up and stop asking so many damn questions. Just take this money and be a good boy. He tells him, your family ain't gonna give a damn about how you got this money as long as you providing for the family. Right, you know damn well that ain't true. You know damn well that ain't true, or you would have told Darla the truth about what this job was. So he gonna do the job. He tell Theo there's only gonna be one time. On his way home, he did the job, right? Theo paid him whatever, but as I say, he said, this is it, I ain't gonna do this no more. On his way home, a cop rolled up behind him. It probably was Guidry, right? But it didn't pull him over. But he was panicking, sweating bullets. And I'm like, where did Ralph Angel get this van from? You know what I'm saying? And why is he panicking about the situation? Unless you still got all the products with you. Why would you even be tripping off and getting pulled over? Now, earlier, Charlie had mentioned to Micah that her and Davis's relationship was in limbo. I was wondering what she meant by that. How is your relationship now in limbo? The last time we checked, you was telling him that you loved him, and he told you the same thing. So why is the relationship in a weird place and in limbo now? Another missing detail that we need as viewers to help tie all these pieces together. Well, social media is getting to her. Another thing she can't control. Her and Micah had a conversation earlier about control and what they couldn't control, and that's when Micah's PTSD moments popped up, and he was like, I just had to give up control. There's things I can't control. He was telling his mama that she couldn't have control over certain things as well. And Charlie goes to Aunt Vi to talk to her about it, and Aunt Vi's like, girl, I don't even know why you tripping, right? You put it out there that y'all was together. You was taking pictures and posting all over social media for people to see and to comment on, okay? And then you opened yourself up on TV about it as well. Keep your damn business to yourself. Have I ever asked you how do you feel about Hollywood? No, because it's only my opinion that matters when it comes to my love for him, right? And it just made me think. Like I said, these are supposed to be some powerful moments, some enticing moments, and I keep thinking, but you didn't feel that way when it came to Ryan Darla. You inserted your thoughts and opinions all throughout that relationship. To the point that you was shunning Darla. But now, ain't nobody's business. I'm buying so fucking contradictory to me. But I know I'm picking the scabs, as Miss Honey was saying. Well, Nova apparently is about to stir up some more beef with the police with this new article that she's writing. I am so glad that she did not show Dominic what this article was, but And that's only because I'm still not sure about him. I still think that he is part of the officers, the law enforcement that is harassing her. But she did share it with Billy. They seem to be rekindling their friendship. Billy even apologized for outing Nova back in the day, and they talked about how all through life, all the friends that they have met, they had never had a friend like the one they had in themselves, each other. And at first, like I said, I was like, what the fuck happened to Nova's sisterhood? Why do I keep calling her fucking Mocha? What happened to her sisterhood? I miss seeing them together. I miss the girl talks with them. I think the last time we seen them was at the one friend's baby shower. That's the last time I remember seeing them. Anywho, we just jumped right into a celebration. Nobody knew what this celebration was about. Y'all, I rewinded my TV 3 times because I thought I kept missing. What the fuck were we celebrating? Well, apparently, Nova launched an investigation herself about the bones. And it came back and it was determined that the bones were over 150 years old. Now, when the hell did Nova launch this investigation, right? She could not even get the ME to give her prior notice to what the findings would tell them before the news found out. Now, he wouldn't even tell her what to do next or how to get it done, okay? We didn't see Nova investigating anything, but they tell us Nova launched the investigation and she's the one that found out that the bones were 150 years old. But alas, everything is everything. And Ross say what I had on my mind. Well, damn, whose bones are they then? Okay, I want to know whose bones they are. And Nova gave this look and made me think that she knew something. We back at school with Michael. And it turns out that he has to be there for his boo thing. So I'm still going to call him his boo thing. I don't remember the dude's name. If y'all know Michael's friend's name, put it in the comment section, please. He's sitting there and he's in the hallway seemingly stressing out over something. He always seems like he's in pain. But it's basically a test. He just took a test that he believed he failed. He didn't think he studied enough for it. And so Michael was like, you know what? Let's go get our mind off of this. Let's go get some tacos. It's Taco Tuesday, right? 10-cent Taco Tuesday on top of that. Okay. He got up and grabbed his bag, and then Michael looked him up and down like he felt something in that moment. I don't know what, right? But I already told you how I felt about the situation in the beginning. I really want Michael to step into his own truth. For real. Michael as the character to step into his own truth as an actor. So I was like, okay, here we go. It's coming. And then Michael told me, look here, dog, just like you were there for me, if you need me, I could be there for you, right? And then they hugged each other and to show support. A supportive hug as men should be able to do with one another without fear of homophobic stereotypes. But that's exactly what we're about to start getting. Because then we saw 2 dudes who were posing much judgment with their looks and their facial expressions. Like, are you hugging up on that dude like that? Right? That's how they were looking, right? There was nothing sexual about the hug to me. And if it was, so what? Okay. So I guess we finna tackle homophobia in the black community as well. Like I said, I want this direction for this character so he can live in his truth on and off screen. But I'm gonna say it right here and right now, brothers that's watching this show, it is okay to hug other brothers, even if that brother is gay, even if that brother is trans. It's okay to hug them. It's okay to be friends with them. It's okay to care about them and to show care for them. It's quite all right. We women do it all the time. We do it all the time. We have no problems hugging our sisters, telling our sisters that we love them. Brothers, it's okay for y'all to do that too. Okay? We need to be there for people, especially in times like these. We need to. So Ryan's daughter, they still over at the diner for some reason, and Ryan say one of the dumbest things I ever heard. They finna have a baby moon. And it's not the idea of the baby moon that's the dumb thing. It's the fact that y'all up to y'all ears and pay their loans. Daughter has said this 3 times. Over and over again. A lot in the past 3 episodes. Daughter keeps saying we up to our ears and pay their loans. Y'all farm was about to be foreclosed on. Did we forget about that too? Remember that phone call? The bank was giving Ron just another few more days, few more weeks to catch up. Y'all farm about to be foreclosed on. You ain't got no job. She ain't got no job. Y'all ain't getting public assistance. Y'all not getting COVID assistance. Y'all not getting unemployment. Y'all ain't got no crop to sell. You had to put money back into your land to restore it from the excavation. The farm, like I said, was being foreclosed on. And you out here involved in illegal activity to try to make ends meet because your pride too big to take money from your wife, and you think that it was a smart idea to take a baby moon. Get this little Airbnb down in town, got a jacuzzi, got a tennis court, got a golf course, got all these fancy smancy things. You thought that was a bright idea. This one job that you did with Theo just laced your pockets that much. You lied to your wife and tell her, I did a double shift for him last night. Did y'all go back twice? Is that the double? Okay. And on top of that, even after the fear you had of seeing police lights in your rearview mirror, you tell your pregnant wife who's about to drop any moment that you gonna do it again next week. I was like, daughter, please stop the madness. Please stop the madness, because clearly he ain't seeing clearly. You know, he just ignoring her concerns though. She's voicing them. He's ignoring them because he feel like he got easy money coming in. He gonna do it again next week. He just told Theo that was the last time. He wasn't gonna do that no more, but he finna do it again. And again, we have another scene where Nova got Dominic coming over. At least she did peek out the door this time. He bringing her rolling papers again. And this time, she wants him to do a little further work for him on the bones. Now, how in the world have the bones been released to Nova Bordelon? For anybody to study. Like, okay, so this is the process, right? I know I watch a lot of TV, but I read a lot too. If you find some bones on your property, in most states, you have to legally turn those over to the police. Well, in this particular case, the police are the ones who found the bones, or the bone, okay? So the police now turns them over to a forensic anthropologist. They change it over to the forensic anthropologist to see if this is a forensic case, which means it is applicable to police cases or a cold case or something of that nature, missing persons, you know. That's what the forensic anthropologist will find out. Or to find out that if this is a non-forensic case. Okay. If they determine that is a non-forensic case, then they now turns it over to the preservation department, where the archaeologists get involved, right? The archaeologists will have determined the age of the bones, the sex of where the bones are attached to. They will run DNA tests and genetics to get genetic traits from the bones. And they, again, will probably have kept digging to see if they could find a complete skeletal frame. So once they determine that it's not, forensic, they turn it over to the archaeologists for further study. They first find out if this belongs to Native peoples. Because if it belongs to Native peoples, then it goes somewhere else. Okay? So it goes to the state level. Okay? But if then it don't belong to Native peoples or what have you, then it can go back to the parties that are involved, which would be the borderlines. In this case, Rob, for real, since it was his land. But that's just me picking at Scabs again. I'm gonna stop. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. One day, maybe. Okay, anywho, not today. So Dominic then asked Nova to go on a jog with him. Again, another piece of the story that's not moving the story along. We already knew they had an attraction to one another, or at least, you know, she's smitten with him. But have we ever seen Nova work out before that she's going to decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and go on this jog with you? She agrees to go on the jog and she leaves the room to go change. Now, what should have happened next is Dominic should have went through her shit. You know what I'm saying? He should have put up that article to see what she's writing or what have you. Okay? But no, we left was a smile from Dominic as she exited the room. Well, after Prosper had the talk with Ralph Angel in Hollywood earlier about him not giving Billy a chance, that's when we get this apology that I mentioned earlier. Billy has cleaned the hell out of this doggone house. He comes in still a little bit petty about how the house smelling. She's like, maybe I used a little bit too much pine salt. He's like, yeah, that's probably it. You know what I'm saying? Just petty. But he does offer a sincere apology for not being there for her. If she feel like he failed her in any area, you know, he offered her an apology. But like I said, it still to me doesn't address the bigger issue. They really need to pinpoint why she really left. You know what I'm saying? But it was a touching moment. It was a touching moment. I know y'all tired of me today. Y'all tired of me. That is the end of this recap and review. I gave y'all probably about a 20-minute review, my thoughts and reviews on this episode. There was one thing that Vi said during her speech about, you know, cheers up, big ups to the good times. And Lord knows we done had a lot of bad times. And I posted that up on the community board because Florida Evans said that in good times. You know, thank God for the good times because Lord knows we've had a lot of bad ones. And, you know, that same thing Vi said. And like I said, good times. Good times. That's what this show is for me. Y'all have a good one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.